So, yes, we are live, and I am with the amazing Fernando Schaefer. Man, it's an absolute honor. You are probably my biggest drum influence ever, and today I want to talk a
You're
lot
my
about this.
boy. You're my boy.
We know each other for like 20 years or something, and
I
you've
think so.
been,
Yeah.
yeah, there's so many things I want to tell you today. So, first of all, thank you for being here. How are you? How is it going?
I'm sorry.
How are you? How is it going? Are you back in
Yeah.
Brazil?
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm back in São Paulo, my hometown, and in this middle of this quarantine and everything. So it's kind of crazy. But now, uh, I didn't. I mean, I didn't stop to work as a musician in the studio because the studio is like pretty near where I live, and we don't have like problems to get in the studio and produce. So I started to record this online course, drum course. It's called Rimshot Crew. So uh, we're gonna premiere this soon. We're gonna talk about these dates, but everything's fine. Besides, like not playing fucking concerts, no tours, and it's kind of hard times for musicians. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
can you,
we staying
especially,
away from the audience and everything, but we do whatever we have to do, right? And that's what we had to do now. I'm doing this stuff. It's pretty. Uh, it's just me, you know. I'm not
yeah,
with musicians and the writing or something like that. And it's different. It's different. But the concept and the results is very cool because it's a very new stuff for me. So I'm pretty satisfied with the results till now.
okay. So tell me about, okay, first of all, I want to talk about, since this is going to stay on YouTube and Facebook, I want to tell you a little bit on how I know you.
Yeah.
I know you like 20 years now, and everything started when I was in Brazil. And I remember I bought like Batera or Modern Drummer Brazil. And at the end of the magazine, there were like many pages of drummers teaching. So some of them were the tie, like jazz. And I still remember the picture of you with a double bass kit, like everything was gigantic, all the tattoos. And it was like
Yeah.
drum lessons with Fernando Schaefer. And I said, okay, I have to meet this guy. I have to meet this guy. And I
This
still
was cool.
remember you were the first metal drummer I saw from so close. I remember like everything. I remember, you have the sticks with the grip. You had the big drum. I never saw anything like that before. So it was like a game changer. I remember I used to use the 7A6,
Yeah.
and you were like, why are you using? Why are you even trying to play with those? So it was really a game changer. So
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
question is, you were always like in Brazil, you were an icon. I mean, you became famous pretty early with the band Corzus. Am I right?
Oh yeah.
How was that? How did you start playing with them? And what
Uh,
period was that?
yeah. I was 17 years old, and a friend of mine that was playing a band with me is called Sulfeto de Ferro, like a very fucking old school like metal. And this guy was a neighbor from the vocalist Pompeu, and these guys they were around 30s, you know, and they were in Europe doing tours and playing with Agnostic Front already, and I was a fucking teenager, you know. And this guy said, "Hey, courses, they have like a test open, so if you want to try it out this test." I say, "Oh shit, let me hear this shit." And that was like those trash metal, like super fast with the double bass, fucking fast on top of this skunk beats, right? And this was a challenging for me because I didn't have like a proper double bass pedal at the time. I had a Lima pedal, and it was a fucking shit pedal that the beaters were like fucking bent when I was
Oh,
playing. It was crazy, bro. That was shit, and it was broken all the time. And the guy that was fixing it, the owner of the pedal, the company, I was fucking far, and that the time I was bringing that pedal like so many times that to fix. But anyway, I was studying those songs with this pedal, and this I think this today makes me think that when you're a drummer, you really need to tame your fucking equipment, right? And back in the days, we didn't have like really good stuff. But I was getting in the band with this fucking pedal, and after
I mean,
that,
did
I
you
changed
record the
this.
album? Ah, okay, okay. But you didn't
Yeah.
record the album with that pedal.
No, no, no. And after
Ah,
that pedal, I changed for two DWs because back in the days we used I was using my double bass everywhere. I was not. I was like, I'm playing a metal band right now, so I bring my double bass everywhere, and I have like double single pedals, and everything was with double bass, you know. But that was game changing for me because when I was playing with the W's, it was like, okay, then we can play fucking death metal or something like that right now, right?
so how long did you stay with Corzus?
I
How many?
stayed. I record Casa S. This was 95, and I stayed with them after the there was almost 4 years. That was 98. That was 94 through 98. This was that with Corsus, and I recorded KZS. We did a fucking cool stuff, man, because we did a tour in America, and they invited us because we record the album with Stevie Evans, you know. And this guy was really close to Billy Milano and SOD and these guys. And after he produced the album, he invited us to do some stuff with Billy Milano and SOD, and this was crazy. And then we went to New York to play with there was SOD, Biohazard, and Corsus and Unsane. We did this show, and after the show, we became some friends of Billy Milano, and he was recording a tribute for SOD, and all the bands was recorded already. Pantera, Slayer, Machine Head. Uh, I, there was like a lot of songs, a lot of bands doing the same songs because there was a lot of bands wanted to do this tribute. But in the end, and that courses record this tribute, we recorded Speak English or Die, and we were singing in Portuguese with the chorus in English. And then, but after this, we heard that Billy's Milano studio get on fire, and he lost all these fucking tracks, and this
Wow.
SOD tribute never came out, and with the courses tribute as well. This was fucking awesome, man. We don't have like any register of this
Oh my
song.
God.
Yeah, crazy.
That's it. So I remember the album of Corzus is very cool, especially because the drums were really. I mean, I believe it's the acoustic very well played, and the songs kick ass. So absolutely, it was a very good job. How did you after Corzus? Who did you play with? Did you start with Endrah right away?
After courses, we started Theta. You
Oh
know,
my God! Yeah, sure.
yeah, we started Theta right after courses, and we record the album, and uh, this was awesome because we were singing in Portuguese, and since I was knowing myself as a musician, I was just having some projects with in English, and this was the first time singing in Portuguese for the audience in Brazil. So this was fucking cool because we reach out a lot of fans, and those fans stay to today like forever. And I was talking with Soldado, the guitar of Treta. He's with me here, recording some new project, and
Ah,
yeah, he
Treta.
said to me, this band, like people like took it for themselves. It's not our band anymore. So. this band was very cool, and playing with him now again, this is amazing because we sounded like Theta in the past, but we're gonna have now we're gonna have a American or a singer or from England or from Europe or and everywhere that can speak English very well, so we can not stay like just in Brazil and doing some tours with this stuff. And I'm pretty satisfied with the result now. But after Treta, I was in Pavilhão 9. That's when I played in Rock in Rio, and I started to get like bigger audiences, right?
Is one question about Treta. Is Treta still existing, or did you quit?
No, Treta exists like for everybody that likes Treta, and here the only album we recorded like a single after 10 years of the band, and that was it, you know. But sometimes we like just do some shows for friends or every like more close stuff for Treta, like the really fans they miss when we playing live, because the chemistry of this live with Treta is like fucking amazing, man. It's so heavy. That's why I'm playing fucking Soldado again. That's we're gonna have this fucking heaviness again. You know?
I hope so. And this so with the new singer and the guitar player from Treta, but this is not Treta. This is another band, right?
No, it's not Treta. No, it's gonna be another name. We are still choosing some names and some stuff with the concept and everything. But we start to record, and it's pretty amazing, man. I'm really happy after all this 1 year and a half that I was not playing because of my shoulder, and now I'm really writing some stuff that I really like to play, and that's like this is my shit right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I know how you are, how you like to write music. So after Treta, you played with Pavilhão 9. Was a pretty famous band. How did you join them?
There was a they were a hip hop band with two singers, and in the beginning there was just DJ and really a hip hop group. You know what I mean? And they decided to put like musicians playing some chords like with distorted chords and doing some more like rock feeling to the band, and they recorded like a very good two albums with the band. It's called Cadeia Nacional and Se Deus Vier Que Vem Armado. And I joined them after these two heavy albums, like let's say heavy. But I was like just in São Paulo hanging out, and I met Marinho because of his band, Eurodelic, like experimental punk band that he was playing, and he was playing bass for Pavilhão 9. So he said to me that they didn't have a drummer, and if I wanted to do that. And this was a game changing for me because I was studying fusion and Brazilian rhythms in the beginning, and I quit everything to start to play metal and double bass and all this shit, right? And in Pavilhão 9, where I was more into getting more into the groove and how you play for hip hop singers and how you respect all the the music and the singing and how the groove make all the difference and everything. So this was very nice to do this project with Pavilhão 9 for this side. You think about this more groovy and with hip hop singers. That's I love to do. I love to do this shit. So,
how many albums did you record with them?
I recorded 2 albums. I recorded Reação with Tom Capone. He was a very famous producer. That I also recorded Rodox. That was the band I was playing after Pavilhão 9. We recorded with the same producer, the same studio, Toca do Bandido in Rio de Janeiro. It's fucking cool because it was in the middle of the jungle, you know, Jacarepaguá, and the atmosphere was awesome, man. I recorded these albums there, Pavilhão 9, Reação, and the Rodox albums. And the second album I recorded from Pavilhão was Público Alvo. We recorded with Carlos Bartolini. He was a famous guitar from Ultraje Rigor, a really 80s band, like the beginning of this rock era in the 80s. And no, yeah, I was just missing up. But he was the guy that was doing this Public Alvo, these two records. And then after that, I was I moved to America. Yeah, I moved to America after that.
After Pavilhao?
Yeah.
Okay. Why? How long did you stay? I didn't know that. So before Endrah, you went to...
No, this was, yeah, and then Endrah, this was after this.
Okay,
Endrah
okay.
was after Pavilhao 9, before I went to America. And Endrah was a very, maybe the most challenging project I ever played today, because I was not playing death metal. I was playing hardcore and these grooves and metal, but like blast beats. I think I remember now that one of those lessons that you were doing with me in São Paulo, you teach me how to do some fucking European blasts and everything.
I remember you.
And I
Yeah,
got a lot of shit from you, bro.
yeah, but it's unbelievable how fast you learn. I was talking about this a couple of days ago. I mean, you learn so fucking fast. That's I never saw anybody learning as fast as you. And plus, you don't write anything, so you keep everything in your mind. That's also pretty insane. I mean, how could you remember all this stuff? That's still a question to this day.
Oh man, I think when you train your brain to work in a way, uh, you just keep doing it, and if this works for you, and that's fine. But then the I don't know, I can deal with like pretty much good with this, you know.
Okay, the connection went down. Sorry.
I'm back.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right. And so yeah, I have like it's cool to say too, because in this online drum course, Rimshot Crew, I have my own way to explain how you do this. Of course, I use like semicolcheias, colcheias, tercinas, e sextinas, and all the divisions, and I will have subtitles in English for.
It's also so it's also explanation, like exercises and explanation, or just exercises. Will you explain?
Yeah.
Will you?
The first part of the drum course, if we're gonna talk about this right now, it's cool to talk about that. Is more I explaining how I create all the drum lines from the bands I recorded till today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So in that, like, is worst Powerflo, Rodox, Pavilhao 9, Corsos, Theta, and all these projects that I recorded, and all these albums. And a lot of fans, they keep hitting me up about like doing videos from this era, like I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago. So now I'm putting online in this drum course how I develop these ideas and where I created and what kinds of techniques you're gonna use. You need to use to do these ideas. You know, like when I decided and I start to write this choke stuff that and I use it in a lot of the projects that I recorded. So I'm uh, putting opening how I create, and I play like fucking slow, like how I did and where the ideas came from, and also how you can apply these ideas in another grooves or another rhythms or in another stuff.
I mean,
So
how will it work? Like you have a monthly subscription, or you just buy a single video? How will it be?
I'm sorry. Can you do this question
Yeah,
again?
yeah. So how will it be? Like you pay and you have a monthly subscription, or you buy
Yeah,
a single video?
yeah. So you have like you pay a month, or you pay like a trimester or annual. So this is gonna be like with discounts and everything. And I'm doing my own platform with a friend of mine from Florida. So it's fernandoschaefer.com.br, and we hope we're gonna have two websites. One website in Portuguese and another website in English. So it's different kinds of payments too, because here in Brazil it's gonna be around 37 reais. It's a pretty reasonable price for Brazilian people, you know. And
Yeah.
you pay, I think it's gonna be 27 or around $20 a month, so you can have like exclusives like videos. I'm doing videos from 10 to 15 minutes each, you know, explaining
Oh,
all this writing from these bands. So I put some bands together sometimes that they have like the same technique I'm using in here and there, you know. And I use like pretty much stuff from people that's beginners, or for people that's advanced. So if you wanna or if you just want to enjoy the way I created all this stuff. So I think that the course is not like just for drummers that want to play. It's also for musicians that want to see how another musicians start to create musics that maybe they like, you know.
super cool.
And
So when is it going to be online?
uh, on the I just changed the dates now, but on the 27th of July, the course is gonna be online. It's gonna be
Okay, so
online with all
okay,
the
okay. So,
videos and everything. So we're gonna have a pre-sale 1 week before. So it's gonna be not this Friday, the next Friday of the next week. It's gonna start the pre-sale, and this pre-sale is very cool because if you buy on the pre-sale, you're gonna have like a 20% of discount during a whole year, you know, and
okay,
it's gonna be very cheap. So I wanna reach the more people that I can, you know. So this
super
is
cool.
the whole concept of this fucking quarantine, selfish motherfucking shit that we're
Well,
going through right now, right?
finally you did it, since we've been waiting for this in a long time, especially me, and many people like me, because in Brazil you are a very big name, you are a huge name. I mean, in Brazil you are one of the most famous, and this is, I hope this will bring the worldwide recognition. I wanted to, we were talking about Endrah, and I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. So
Yeah.
I still remember when you played with Endrah, the album is super natural. The way you play, the special no metronome, and you were absolutely super modern. You were, I believe, even more modern than. I mean, you could be a band like from the 2015 and 16, like you were 10 years in advance compared to others. But do you think that being Brazilian didn't help you? You think this put like I mean, if you were American, I would believe Endrap would be way bigger. What's your
I
opinion
think
about?
so. I think so, because I think when you play like more like underground styles, you really close a little bit more of your audience, right? When you play like fast stuff, people people they don't have they don't give the right value of how you need to improve yourself to play fucking fast. You're right. It's a really challenging stuff. It's about how you feel valuable to doing that. And when it's become like very underground, and when you write a whole album in a two bass drums, three toms, and two floor toms, you're not gonna fucking adapt yourself to play this whole writing like a fucking 1 year and a half in a drums of like two tones and one four tone, right? You just fucked up your writing, and this all makes no sense. So this makes even harder. You need to to bring your whole gear and your whole drum set and the stages or the how the risers don't fit the fucking double bass, right? And this is very hard. So in America or on other places, I think it's a little bit easier. I mean, in general, right? Because a riser for two bass drums, you need to ask this
Yeah.
before.
But
So
do you think you could have played those songs in a smaller kit? Would have been would be possible to play like Endrah songs in a normal kit?
you need to adapt a lot, right? You need to adapt a lot because I was doing fucking huge Dave Lombardo fills. How are you gonna do this fucking dynamics in one tone and one floor, right? You can do it, but like,
It doesn't
and
sound.
that's
It does,
why the way I use my setup right now, I feel very comfortable to not using a lot of stuff, you know, even because of my shoulder now. It's like it doesn't allow me to have like very fucking high cymbals and high shinas and
how is
everything.
the shoulder doing?
My shoulder is like my shoulder is not gonna be 100%. You know, it's not gonna be 100%. But I need to. I'm working out like crazy. You know, and this makes me stronger and healing. I think the healing process is already done, right? But because I took a little bit of time to do the surgery, so I don't have the muscles anymore. So I have like some attachments that that's doing the job, the muscle job, you know, and this is not gonna be the same. But what I have here, I can work with this. But I cannot have like a very high cymbals anymore. I can't.
But when you play, can you hit hard? Can you?
I can hit hard. Yeah,
But you can't. But you
I can
can't.
hit hard. Yeah,
But,
but my movements, yeah. If I do like high cymbals, I'll got like tired and painful very much before when I played with the cymbals lower. You know what I mean? And now I'm modern. I'm using my cymbals turn it up like you know. And this is awesome. I love this shit, man. This is
okay.
amazing. I love to play like this.
There is one question I had. There is a comment about the wonderful snare you used during the Endrah recordings. Can you tell us a bit about the snare drum you used back then?
The equipment that I used, I did
Yeah,
understand.
especially the snare. I remember the snare sound. You know, it was super cool.
Oh yeah, this was a Bauer drum set, and Ricardo Bauer, he passed away uh, uh, some time ago, and he was a very luthier, how you say in English, or
Yeah,
handcrafted drums.
somebody who a craft, like a crafter or something like that. Somebody
Yeah,
who makes.
yeah, and he was doing this custom power toms, and this drum set that I record Endrah, that was the first drum set that Bauer Percussion was doing back in the day. This was I had this drum set that was from 2000, and there was two bass drums like 22 to 18, and the toms were 13 by 13, 14 by 14, and 16 and 18. And the snare
I
was a 14 by 8.
Okay, 14 by 8. What material?
That was wood, pinho. And this was a Brazilian wood. It's called pinho. We have maybe you have like another places as well, but with another name. And he was doing this drum set with this wood, and he was having a really cool way to dry the wood, so the drums can be very resonant. And I was using like coated premium drum heads from Luang. Dudu Ports was doing this signature drums heads there, and there was a one ply. How you say porosa? Coated,
Uh,
right?
Coated.
One ply coated drum heads. That was kind of a thin, and the drums of those drums, that was huge, man. This was amazing. But in the video, that in the Endrah video, that the drums, the mic of the first tom, that was off for some reason, because I was doing at the board with the camera and plugging the cables in the camera from the board. It was recording everything at the same time for that video. So there was like a very old school way to do, right? And I don't have the sound of the first tom there. Does it make some difference? Because when I hear it, I think like, oh shit, that tom is not there. But the sound of the drums is fucking amazing. In the album, there's a very organic sound that like that was recorded also in the 2-inch recorded, right? So that's why, and Ciero at the Tribu studio, and he was this machine that was so old, man, and it was broken. Like we record like 2 hours and bam, the fucking shit like pow, oh shit, we need to call the Japanese guy. So this guy came in the studio like 3 or 4 times at the week at the studio to fix the 2-inch recording Tascam.
Wow.
Like really, really old school. That's why this fucking analogic drum set sound in the album, man.
Amazing. I mean, I still believe, you know, it's very cool to see those recordings and see and hear that everything was really played. For example, I really can't hear metal these days because it sounds so perfect that you don't recognize a good drummer from a bad drummer anymore.
That was cool, man, because there was no samples back in there. There was samples, but those samples back in there, they was sounding so artificial. There was I never wanted to have this back in there because that was changing so much the way I played there, though that death metal. Even when I talked about this in the Ring Shot crew, right? That my playing back in there, that was not balanced the way it should be for a record these days, right? That was don't fit. That you're gonna use like samples in the snare drum because when you're doing the breakdowns and the skunk beat parts or the mosh parts, you play ring shot. But when you play the blast beats, it's almost impossible. You hit the fucking rim shot when you do those blast beats. It's impossible. So my drums in the album sound like a really how I played with no samples in the snare drum and at all. But I like the way it sounds because it really like when you're hearing a rehearsal or something like that. That was the point.
Exactly. Actually, hearing a rehearsal from a killer band, I believe it's still one of my favorite records of you. Maybe even more. Even I like it even more than Worst because of the drum sound.
I know that. You told me this. You told me that.
Now, okay, let's talk about Worst. That actually Worst was the band I would say that made you. It was the most famous band you had. I mean, because Worst became like huge in a couple of years. Am I right?
Yeah. Also in the hardcore scene was very, very cool. Here in Brazil, like Treta, back in the day, was singing in Portuguese. I decided to sing in Portuguese with Worst because we're gonna achieve a lot of the crowd, the kids in Brazil, and this was a very, very challenging too, because people from my age and your age, and we are not used to listen to hardcore and metal mixed together with the lyrics in Portuguese, right? We had like Ratos de Porão and another bands like doing Portuguese lyrics, but this was a very this was like their style, you know. And we decided to do this Portuguese stuff, and this was very, very cool. In the beginning, we got like a lot of fans and a lot of kids that was not our age, and they was like not like addicted to hear fucking metal and hardcore in English, right? And they started to listen to this in Portuguese and really identify themselves with the lyrics and the shit we're singing and all about the the issues that we have, like when you live in a third world country, you know, and that you pay a lot and you don't have like nothing back. So this is a reality, and we wanted to sing this in Portuguese so people can understand the way we think about how we can handle the situation in living in a country like this, you know. And it was amazing. We in the end, but I think the legacy of Worst stays, you know, and a
How
lot of
many,
people still
how many
love the
years,
band. And yeah, tell me.
how many years Worst stayed together? You last.
I'm sorry.
How many years Worst lasted as a band?
This was 2012 to 2019.
Okay, so 7 years.
Yeah, we
Okay, okay.
recorded. The first 3 years was crazy because we recorded one album a year of 10 songs. This was
Wow.
this was yeah this was heavy working. I was putting my whole life doing this band. Like I was believing this. Like I was never believing in something before, and this was really the way I wanted to play. Because since I was joining courses and Pavilhao and Rodox, I had like some concepts in the band that was not the what I really was loving to do, and Worst was the maybe the first, and that's why it was like a sum for me, you know. And all these years, I worked like a lot, and all the with the merchandise and all the concepts of the albums, all the artwork, uh,
Wow. So
all
yeah,
the concepts of the lyrics. I was involved in pretty much everything. I was doing a lot of shit by myself, and maybe that's why the band now is in this position now. That maybe it was a way to do, and I that was really frustrating to play with another people that was not giving having the value of this work that I did before, and I got like some I don't want to do this anymore. So Swartz is standing by, but I don't know. The future is there, you know, and maybe I can write an album in the future. But Swartz now is not my priority. Like as a musician, I have another stuff, and maybe in the future I come back.
I mean, the amount of cool bands that you have been into is unbelievable. I mean, because all these bands kicked ass. So this is, I mean, this like if you hear like all the bands you played with and how did you came, what happened? I mean, what music you made, it's unbelievable. I mean, like Worst,
Oh,
I believe that Endrah and Worst. Maybe Endrah had the thing that Covero and you worked together.
yeah,
Yes, but Worst was everything was built around you. So all the guitar parts and the stuff are built around the drums. So that's why they sound.
yeah.
So how much did you rehearse a week? I mean, when you did
We are practicing 1 or 2 times a week, I think.
and you were releasing one album a year.
With Borst.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Borst. Yeah, yeah. This was that was 2 times a week with Borst.
How many
That
hours?
was yeah, because that was very important to say too. Uh, when I was every time I start to write some project, the music doesn't come out of my head until I decided all the feels and all the best way to play those riffs and those parts, you know. So I really got involved to and I don't listen to the music when I'm writing. I keep playing this in my head and the way I want to play, you know. I change everything in my head and I record in my cell phone, the microphone, all these changings. And I keep changing this and I keep doing like a lot of feels to see what's the best for that fucking part, you know. And that's why maybe I don't need to write them after, because this keeps
You,
going in my head like crazy, you know. And
how
the
does how does this start? Can you give me an example on how does?
oh, I do some riffs in my head, some guitar riffs, or I do some. What happens a lot when I'm giving lessons, not now because quarantine and everything, but you know how I do my lessons, right?
Yeah,
We start to play, and we start to put some stuff together, and we create a pattern that like with a lot of stuff that we want to do that technique that day. And sometimes it got so crazy shit that I record that, and after i I just create a riff on top of that, and I just create uh some uh, some vocal lines or something on top of that, and this starts to become a music. And then after that you start to see after this part what's the riff that's gonna match with this, and that is you start to do. And this is fucking cool, man, because this song we record, we are doing now with Soldado. We start to write this song like I don't know 20 days ago, and this changed so much now, and that it's so good now. And then I created so many cool stuff that I decided like with the details. Then I came here one day. I recorded with the guitar, the guitar tracks, the guitar, you know,
yeah,
and I didn't like the result. So I came back here in the studio Monday, and I record without the guitar tracks, and without the click, and without the feels that I wanted to do, and this is perfect, man. And with no samples at all. There's a fucking drums there, and it's so cool. I'm so happy for this, and I can't wait to release this to everybody.
okay.
This fucking cool.
So you said you recorded on Monday without fills, so just recorded the grooves. How you?
Yeah,
So you
on my
decided.
head.
Okay, okay, wow, that's
Yeah,
okay. Pretty impressive. You work also with Powerflo in the United States. You stayed.
yeah.
How many years did you live there? How long did you stay there?
I lived there for 9 months. 9 months. You know, uh, this started in Europe when I met Roy from Downset, and he was checking my way to play, and he's he that in that show Yipperfest 2013, he just said to me, "Hey, bro, I like really the way you play with the heavy hitings and the groove at the same time. Yeah, that I have some projects in California. Maybe we should have like contact." And after that, there was a with the project with Sandog and everything. So after some time, uh, they we decided to make a real band when everybody put they say to me, "Hey, Fernando, we want to have a band with you, but you need to be here in LA, you know." And I was living in São Paulo, so I moved there to be in the band, you know. And I didn't have like a really support. I needed to be there to play in the band, and then I make that happen. And this was very cool, man. I record the album and Powerflo at NRG. This was the best studio with the best fucking mics and the best drum sound. I think is that I had is in the Powerflo.
Maybe in the recording process. But at the end, uh, I like it. I like it, but you can really see that you didn't write the parts. I mean, it's not really your thing. The thing I
No,
like them, when
yeah,
you.
this should. It could be. It could be. It could be like very, like I don't know, 1,000 million times better, because Roy, back in the day that we recorded, he said to me, "Hey, I don't know if you are used to this in Brazil, but I'm gonna hire a drum tech for the recording." I say, "Yeah, really? Yeah, man. He's gonna tune the drums. He's gonna do all this stuff. You just go there and just play, you know." And this guy, Mauro Hubi, I met him. You know him? You know this guy?
No, I
Mauro
don't.
Rubens. He's a very famous drum tech. He lives in Hollywood, not Hollywood, near from NRG, and he's used to work in some studios. So he had like a snare. He had like a Tama. He call Terminator. It's a '70s best
Terminate.
bell brass, man. And
Oh,
Slipknot, yeah, and Slipknot recorded the IO album with that snare. They stayed with that snare from Mauro from in 6 months. They stayed with that snare, and I
wow.
recorded with that snare. That snare, man, is so fucking loud, and the frequencies and the low, even being a solid fucking metal snare, it's fucking crazy, man. When you hit fucking hard, the sound of that snare, I never seen nothing like that, man. This is a fucking dream. So, but like, it's hard to find, right? Yeah,
Wow. Okay. But uh,
this is
but
cool.
as I said, my still today, my favorite production with you probably is Endrah because it's more natural and you can really feel the
It's
way
more,
you
more
play.
organic. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But as I said, it's my personal taste. Plus, Powerflo, you played with Billy yesterday from Biohazard and you played with Ken Dog from Cypress Hill. It was also a way to be seen worldwide. And yeah.
yeah. I'm
So,
sorry, I don't really hear. Can you
okay.
speak a little bit?
No, I just said that it was also a challenge for you, a way to be seen outside Brazil, since you played
Yeah,
with Bill Biohazard and Sandal from Cypress Hill. So
yeah.
it was. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanna.
this was cool. This was cool to play with these rock stars and see uh, how they think about music and everything. There was another learning for me in America. Really, the music business works very different than in some other places, and I really learned a lot in this Powerflo era. But this is done now. I'm more on my stuff. You know, I don't like bosses.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. But, well, I also understand since you are so creative, and you write a lot. So I can imagine. I mean, you really have to be in a position to write stuff and compose. There's one guy, Graciano, asking Fernando. You are a big inspiration. Your breakdown in Born in the Third World is awesome. I hope you will come to Italy as soon as possible. So,
Yeah,
my
that's
question is,
cool.
how is your
Yeah,
breakdown in Born in the Third World? How is that? How did you came
yeah,
up with
that breakdown. Yeah, I was searching for a breakdown that is really a new way to write because I was checking some new bands and stuff like the new kids doing some. I always search for some new stuff like really creative things, and then that breakdown it really calls one riff, but in the end it came in another stuff completely different, and this was cool and this was very challenging for me to do this, and how I was putting these notes everything together to sound this to sound it cool, but at Dream Shot Crew I'll explain about this breakdown from Born in the Third World. And there's a fucking cool breakdown with a lot of 16 notes and sextinas, and this is cool. Yeah, I love to do these breakdowns. Uh, this new project's a little bit like a little bit simple, si- as not too many notes, but I'm putting my effort in the details, you know. So when the details gonna make the
a
difference,
different?
and I think I'm getting old. That's why, right?
We'll see. We'll see. As I said, I'm very curious to hear the result, as always. So, on the rimshot crew, on the course, you will be explaining all these breakdowns and how you to those. The one cool thing you told me once is like you learn to play slower and slower by playing with words. Is it true?
Yeah,
How that was it very difficult for you to play at slower tempos in the beginning?
the slower tempos, right? Yeah. Uh, because I started with the thrash metal and all this metal stuff. I was using to play fast and everything, but for in worse and all this breakdown stuff, you really need to focus in the tempo and playing slow is you need to really study how you're gonna play slow because all the notes are there and you need to be very very clear, right? And also for live, what I used to do is listen to the songs that are really really slow, some breakdowns that are really slow, and you need to play in that tempo. And sometimes when you play with not with the click track live, you used to like me that's play fucking metal and everything, to you hush it up a little bit, right? And it's good when you hear the song before you get in the stage, so you got like, oh shit, I was thinking, I have like some adrenaline now because I was thinking doing this breakdown like very much faster than it needs to be. So you put yourself in a tempo that you need to play, and this is really a exercise that you need to keep doing, so you can know the really tempo that's like the tempo that you record, or the tempo that like makes sense to the audience, like enjoy the show or
Okay.
something like that, right?
So, like you recorded with a click track with words, but live you didn't use a click track at all.
No.
So
Some of our worst songs I recorded not with the click. It depends on the song, you know. Born in the Third World, I think I record the first part with the click, and the breakdown. I think I did not play with the click, but in live you can spice it up a little bit. Breakdown when you slower, the more the tempo. Like when you play live, this was we are doing as well, and this is a cool shit to do when you're live, and when you play like a musician that can improvise a little bit, and you can slower these tempos down and make people like want they kill themselves more. You know what I mean?
I know, I know. So about the drums, I remember you always have a very clear idea of the drums and how you want them. So I remember you like die-cast hoops, and usually you like single ply head, but with thicker. Am I right?
I'm sorry. Can you tell me that again?
So, okay, you like the die-cast hoops on the toms.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
What?
Because I feel like it's more low winds in the toms when you use die-cast toms. You know, the point is how hard you're gonna hit the toms, right? Because it's like if you don't hit like hard enough, you don't make advantage of the low wind of the die-cast hoops, right? And I think you really need to play. That was what I hearing from some producers that was recording with me, and they saying that I I can get like more low winds in the toms and in the drums in general, that the more of the general drummers that don't play with this kind of drumsticks, because it's not like really playing fast. I don't really play very very fucking hard, sometimes, but normally my drumsticks and for my workout, it makes this because I don't wanna push myself too much. I want to feel comfortable playing, but at the same time, I feel the dynamics of me playing, the way I play, and when I play, not putting this natural effort when I play, and I could play, I don't know, for more time, or like for like, I don't know, 10 hours straight playing fucking soft, right? But I don't really want to do this. I wanna my drums sound like fucking heavy, you know. And you know how it is. You need to put some effort on that. It is no secret.
What about the drum heads? What kind
The
of
drum
drum?
heads I use heavy coated Luang. It's a
Okay,
Brazilian drum heads. They are like emperors. They're like emperors
okay.
in the
But why you
drums.
use coated drum? That's pretty unusual. Coated. Why?
Uh, Now I'm using not coated. I'm using like a kind of a double clear in the ring shot crew, and the
Okay.
last recordings I'm doing, because I'm recording with a Yamaha that sounds better, and with these two ply drum heads, because they don't have like the die cats hoops. So I rather have two ply drum heads so I can have like more low wind, because with like power hoops and coated drum heads is not the sound that I really want to achieve now. So it really depends on the drum set and the music you're playing at the time. You know what I mean? And it depends. Now I use this double clears here, and sounds very good. Yeah,
What
with
about
this
the
record.
tuning? The overall tuning. I have one question before about the kick drum sound you had during Endrah. It was maybe the best kick drum, the natural I ever heard from you. What
Yeah,
were what was this about? Can you tell me?
this was fucking natural, man. I think we were using mics D112, like Shure,
Oh,
and
which and
another uh, SM58 inside the drum set, and inside the bass drum. And I was using a single ply drum heads from Luang that have like the ring, the muffle ring, but it's just a little piece of the drum heads. And in the beater head and in the front head as well. And I have a hole there, and I have like a Fallon stem in the drum head, and I recorded with the Bauer pedals. This was the polyurethano they call. It's kind of a hard plastic, the pad of the beater. And back in there, these pedals was some drummers were sitting down in my drum and they say like, "What the fuck, Fernando? How you play with this pedal like this?" And the beater was like fucking very low, and the spring was.
super tight. Yeah,
But
it was very good.
the strength you need to do and the power you need to put in the pedal, when you hit with the right uh, power, it comes a fucking sound like it's very, very, very good with the low ends and kick and everything very hard.
So one question: you have only one mic on the drums, on the kick drum, the
There was
D1.
two mics, two
Okay,
mics. D12 Shure in SM58
on the kick.
for the kick, yeah.
Ah, okay, nice. Okay, this was, and what was inside the kick drum? Anything, or
There
was
was nothing there,
nothing? Okay,
nothing.
and now you put something. I mean, the difference is when you play a double pedal with a single kick that you can't go so fast because the sound is a little bit messy. Did you
Yeah,
do
it
some,
depends how hard you play.
I'm curious to hear that with yeah, because I remember when you were with Endrah, the sound was unbelievable. You think you could play the same speed with only one kick and having the same sound?
Yeah, this is crazy, man. But I mean, in that time, I can't. I don't know, man. I need to be like practicing like 2 months very fucking hard to get in that level of power, and with the fast bass drums, with all these blast beats. Like, I don't know, man. Very long,
Yeah, I
and
remember. It was like unbelievable.
yeah,
What did you do?
You need to be athlete. You need to be an athlete to play
Okay,
this.
let me ask you one thing about the snare tuning, and then I will ask you another question about double bass. What about your snare tuning? Your snare tuning. How do you use it?
My tuning, I don't like to crank too much, because I'm using a porcupine and with diecast hoops, and it got like really resonant. So I put a little bit like a little bit lower, you know, and I'm using the heavy coated Luane drum head, and with this snare, uh, this is awesome. Fucking airplane here, and I really enjoy to play because it's very loud too. This snare, I love loud snares.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
why when you need to balance your tones to
yeah.
make them loud as
So you
well.
have to keep your toms even louder, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And the kick drum very loud too. My question is about double bass. Since you said that during Endrah, like you had really the fastest double bass ever. So what kind of practice did you do back then? And, and what would you do today to get back on that shape?
yeah. I mean, I think you need to play with the band. This is the or you play with the or you play the songs. The most you play, the more you play, the better you're gonna be. Especially in this fast stuff. You need to be on shape. You need to be an athlete to do this. So back in that time, I was practicing, and I was putting myself in a position that really almost like a suffering, but putting a lot of power in the practicing because uh, I was turning off the AC and make the room like very warm in the
Wow, really?
practices, so you can feel really how you're gonna be in the club that's like in Brazil, like 35 degrees, and you get in the club, and this fucking 45 degrees, and you play with like 150 kids in a small place that you have no air, and you need to play those fucking double bass like crazy, and you're gonna die, bro. You're gonna die. It's the same you got in the sauna and playing the same shit you're gonna play live. So it's like a really it's crazy how the difference of the when you had when you breathe and when you have like a lot of lights that's very hard on you, and it makes a lot of difference too when you have like this high high level of athlete fucking playing. And that you're doing very good now because you play
Oh,
fucking fast, and
yeah, but
I'm
it's the best.
just the I'm
It's
just
the
the one
best.
that did this in the past, man.
Thanks, man. So you said if you had to go back on that double bass situation, you just go have a band and just play it over and over. No secret, no special.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think the more you play, the easy, it's getting easier. I think it's getting easier because I think when you can feel this really, when you practice in not a high level performance, because this is another mistakes that drummers uh, can do, and you feel the difference when you start to tour. So I always try to practice in a high level performance, because when you have like 10 shows straight, you need to play in that level, right? And when you hit the stage, what normally happens with me, and that your high level you were practicing is not like the real high level, and you having a high level at the show because there's a lot of shit involved, like adrenaline, and depends on the festival and all the stress that maybe you had before the show and everything. So this is more stressful, and the performance is higher. So when you do like 10 or 12 or 15 shows in this high level, after this you're fucking flying, man. And it's so easy that you do all that stuff that you're doing and making it like, oh. this is hard to do now in the practice. When you have like a long tour, this shows that the more you do, the more you get better.
Okay, perfect. Uh, I have one question. That's cool about your drum influences, because you have a very interesting story. Because besides being a metal guy and hearing Dave Lombardo and Slayer and stuff, you were like a big Dave Weckl fan.
Yeah.
So, is it true that you learned by ear an album of Dave Weckl? Did you? Can you?
Ah, yeah, this is a lot. Yeah, but I was listening to Chico Rea Electric Band, the first album. So crazy when I heard this the first time. This touched me like so good back in there. Even with the metal, when I was listening to some metal, and I was listening to Dave Weckl and Chico Rea and all these heroes like from the fusion, uh, the great symbol, the great Zildjian era back in day with Kolayuta, Steve Gadd, and Chambers and everything. And I was really in love with Dave Weckl and Chico Rea. And this is maybe that's I don't know. I can say that I'm more influenced by him and as that the metal drummers have influenced on me. I think maybe Dave Weckl is the first one before Tommy Aldridge, because that was when I really start to study drums, you know, and see a lot of whole completely opened my eyes for what really music can bring you, not just the metal and all this stuff, right? And
So,
I'm really proud to I don't know, to like this kind of stuff back in there when I was really.
were you playing along to it? Were you trying to learn new stuff? Is it
No,
cool?
not really, not really. I get the stuff. I got like some. Uh, I memorized some stuff, and I sitting down my drum set. What I do normally uh, before practice with the band, I sit on the drums, and I start to create some stuff in a very not playing very hard, just to warm up. But I warm up like always creating something new, you know.
Okay.
And
You don't practice like for
no,
the sake of you just play and you try to practice by
yeah,
playing the.
yeah. And when I start to play, and I start to play like I don't know, some stuff that I was not used to play, and I say, oh shit, this this groove's like this sounding kind of it's weird. I need to work on my techniques like for drags on the bass drums, or more like doubles in the hand, or all kinds of rudiments. And but I was always applying this in the writing and in the creative creative process of studying. You know, I don't like to get like a method and I'm gonna do this here to there. I think I never did this, man.
So yeah, you have an amazing style. It's a mixture of many things. I was wondering how you practice because, as I said, there was this legend that you were playing by ear this Dave Weckl album or trying to. So somebody told me that, but you said it's not true. Legend, maybe somebody.
That's because you're my boy, motherfucker.
No, no, because I remember somebody was telling me this. So about Rimshot Crew, let's get back to the topic. Since uh, if you have to describe to somebody, I mean, imagine I am a drummer. I never heard about your school or nothing, and I said, "Hey, Fernando, what's going on? What would you tell me?"
Okay, Rimshot Crew is an online drum course. Okay, you're gonna learn. If you're a drummer, you're gonna learn how to play drums with me. Okay, I have a very unique way to teach. Okay, I don't use parts, and all is using simple techniques to advance it, but always creating some stuff. So the creative part of my drumming is so um, present in me that Rimshot Crew is also this. I'm gonna teach you guys how you're gonna apply techniques, but in a creative way, you know. And in the first part of this course, I'm gonna show you guys how I create this bands that I record and all these patterns, right? Uh, Inside the drum course, the Rimshot Crew, if you have access to a lot of exclusive videos from the all my career. Uh, for example, from Rodox. Uh, my ex-wife, she was the documentarist back in the day, and I have more than 60 tapes filmed and never put it out, never. And I have like a lot of recordings back in the day, you know,
Oh, this is
and I'm
gonna be
putting all this material online
fucking
as well.
amazing.
So yeah, so you have like all these exclusive videos for my career, and this is very cool to do, and this is gonna be exclusive. Uh, Another stuff, I have the Rimshot Crew merch right now. It's gonna be selling online too. So if you are a subscriber of the course, you can choose your name and number
Oh,
in the
cool.
merch. All right. So if you're not a subscriber, you can also buy the Rimshot Crew shirt, but you cannot have your name and number. So if you buy the course and you're gonna be with me in this journey, so you can put your name and number in the merch and be really part of the Rimshot Crew, because Rimshot Crew is it means that you're gonna put yourself to the maximum of the power, right? And playing like with a rim shot, uh, I know that dynamics is the most important stuff in the music, but the rim shot is really challenging and really a way that you should uh, search to play solid, you know, like a
Okay.
metal drummer or hardcore drummer or rock drummer in general should play and achieve, right?
Okay. One question about bodybuilding and sports. Because you've been like gigantic for, I mean, you are fat, then you lose weight and you become like a bodybuilder, right? Is this true?
Yeah, yeah,
There is also
yeah,
an advertising of the biscuit Balduco in Brazil, where there is Cortus, and you were like very fat on that.
yeah. I was 160 kilo.
How
I
did you
was
lo-
very fat,
How did you
and
came up?
then yeah, yeah. In 99 to 2000, I lost 60 kilo. I was 60 kilos, right? And I lost a lot of weight. And I was training because I was doing sports all my life. Yeah. And I decided to do some iron, you know, like a gym and like bodybuilding and everything, to get like stronger, you know, because I was feeling that the stronger you are, the easy it is to you to play and to put power, you know. And I really became a lifestyle for me, since my genetics is shit and I get fat like very fucking fast. Uh, I
Really?
really enjoy, yeah, I really enjoy to have like a balanced um, how you say nutrition, and working out like I don't know 5 days a week, and this makes me play so much easier, man. And when I not I'm not like working out like the way I should work out, I really feel in my performance that my performances changed a lot. And what I'd like cool to say too, in the Rimshot Crew, I'm gonna do some videos of some workouts that you can
Ah,
do. Yeah, that you can do like not inside the gym, with some equipment that's very cheap to buy, and you can alternate this exercises with the drum pad, with marching band sticks, like very heavy. So you do the exercise and you do some rudiments as well in the intervals,
Wow.
and it's gonna be, yeah, I'm gonna be have some videos about that too. So Rimshot crew, you're gonna have a lot of stuff, and I think the athletic part of the drumming when you're playing a high performance and you're playing like metal, and this style that we play is a very important part in this process.
What is the modern drummer, the extreme metal drummer that you like the most? Do you think it's the most hard heavy, the hard hitter?
Um I'm seeing like Popo stuff like getting a little bit older now, but he's a fucking heavy hitter, man, and he plays like very constant, and I really I really enjoy and the way he plays solid and the way he makes the band sound fucking solid live, because I've been seeing him live, and this makes a lot of difference when you have a very steady and solid drummer like him. You know,
I remember
it,
back in the days, it was unbelievable. Back in the days, it was hitting so loud.
oh yeah,
I remember that. It was like,
yeah,
how the fuck did you do that?
yeah.
Okay,
It's cool.
so yeah, yeah.
That's
So
cool, Rafa. That's cool to talk with you, man.
my pleasure. What about? Tell me something about what's going on in Brazil right now. What's going on?
Yeah, man. Brazil. I mean, we never had people that now finally. I'm seeing some news now that like they're gonna uh, start to make some saneamento básico. How you say this in English?
Uh,
Because
Hygienization. Like they
yeah,
will be.
yeah, to fucking not throw shit in the rivers anymore, because we are doing this like so long ago, and people here got got sick like easier, and we never had like a proper system here, and Brazil is always like very hard to live for people that don't have money, and that's the majority of the people here. So coronavirus just hit us like fucking crazy here. There's a lot of people dying, and but at the same time, São Paulo is the metropolis where I live, and supposed to be the worst, and now we're getting down in the court. So uh, bars and restaurants open this week, like one for 5 hours, and concerts. We don't know how it's gonna be like
Wow.
again here, maybe next year or something like that. That's why everybody's like, even at the studios, people are really concerned, and the fear, uh, because we have a president now that he's a right side guy, and he have a very radical way to talk and a way to do stuff, and people are very afraid to go out in the streets and have a normal life again, because a lot of people don't have the health system doesn't uh, doesn't how to say this in English. Vamos falar português agora, mas o
Well,
bagulho não segura, meu irmão, não segura. O sistema
you
de
can do.
saúde é uma bosta. Então muita gente tem receio, né? Mas aqui em São Paulo, assim, os leitos de UTI já estão desativaram. They put it out. They put down a very big hospital inside the football stadium here, Pacaembu. We are not using this anymore, so we have like kind of control situation, and I hope this fucking shit is gonna be over. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe the ASAP, right? Everybody's. I know that people is like not acting with like a lot of responsibility here and there. We're seeing people in Brazil partying, not wearing masks, and all this shit. So I don't know. Yeah, it's hard, but people start just living their lives, man. And Brazilian people, they're fucking tough, man. They really don't really care like too much. Like, fuck this shit. Let's drink a beer and let's do everything.
Let's
in
see
the
what
training
happens.
channel is like this.
Okay, there's one guy, Daniel Mora, who said, I watched Fernando recording session in Piracicaba with Sangue Inocente. Amazing drummer.
Oh yeah,
What about Sangue Inocente? We didn't talk about this band. Can you tell me something about it?
yeah, San Inocente. They're guys from a countryside Brazil, and in the period of Endrah, they invited me to record an album from them. They're kind of hate breed feeling and hardcore, but they are all evangelics, Christians, right? And this was very cool, man, because this was very simple, and I was getting there, getting the songs, and recording the album like right away, getting the song and record, getting the song and record. This was really cool, and we did some shows with Terror and in the hardcore scene here in São Paulo, in countryside São Paulo, in Piracicaba, and in other places too. This was really cool, Sangue Inocente. I recorded an album. I'm not sure in the Spotify, but you guys check it out, Sangue Inocente. In YouTube, you might have
Yeah,
some
I
stuff
will
for
be
sure.
asking you. I will be asking you and a lot of links because I will put them in the description of the video. Since this is
Yeah,
staying on YouTube and many people is going to catch them afterwards, I will make
yeah.
sure everyone gets everything they need to hear and to check the videos. So yeah, we made it through. I wanna thank you for your time, man.
Hey,
And
Rafa. Hey,
my
before you thank me, I need to thank you, bro, because you've been such a fucking great friend and a great partner in this drum underground scene that's so hard, and we've been helping each other in a so long time, man, since we met, and I'm really fucking awesome to do this live with you, and I
my
know we have a lot of shit to do together. I'm gonna write that. We're gonna do that book when you're in Brazil here. We're gonna
pleasure.
write a book together.
I just told this to everybody. Next time I will be in Brazil, I will take like 1 month off, and I would just go and said, I wanna really, I wanna see you recording. And thank you for thanking me. But as I said, and I usually tell to people, without you and without seeing you from near, I would never be the drummer I am today. And I believe, this is really important to show respect to people who did something for us. And I always said, when people tell me, check this drummer out, check this other drummer, I say, okay, listen, check Fernando. And because I really believe the way, I don't know, man, I think the way you mix everything, the way you grow with the influences of samba and everything made you such a unique drummer. And I really like, I think your creativity is still to this day unbelievable. It's something really I really wanted to learn to still like to be as creative as you are. And I really hope I will have the time to spend some time with you. And also in Italy, Efisio and Elena were greeting you. Everybody, I mean, they all are big fans of you here. So
Yeah,
we just,
fuck it. I
this is
cannot
going.
wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to come back to Cagliari and doing more workshops for you guys, man. I had so great time back in there. This was amazing. I
How
wanna
many
do
years?
this
It was
experience
like
again. We
more
need
than.
to do this.
Oh, we will do that, man. As soon as everything is, as I said, as soon as everything is finished, I will go to Brazil and spend some time. I really wanna, get into finally see you recording, see you tuning, and so I know everybody there. I love Brazil, and I really hope that everything will go good for you. And so this rim shot crew thing is going to be uh, okay. So Daniel is thanking us. Congratulations, Raphael, for the great in these interviews. Abraços. Thank you, Daniel. So
Valeu,
yeah,
Daniel.
I'm interviewing many people from around the world, and this stays on my YouTube. And I mean, I really wish you, Fernando, truly the best for Rimshot Crew.
Thank you.
And we are waiting for the release. As soon as you have it, just let me know, and we'll be doing
All
that.
right. All
So,
right. Thank you
so
for that,
thank you.
Rafa.
My
Tamo junto,
pleasure.
meu irmão.
My pleasure, Fernando. Take care, and
Valeu. Take care. É nóis. Tchau.